right. So this time, what a crazy time we are living in. And I woke up this morning with a complete reversal of, the despondency that I felt over the last few days. I woke up today feeling so hopeful. And I'm hoping to just kind of like spread it faster than a virus. In the sense of this incredible amount of transformation that our country's going through right now. And I'm choosing to see everything that's happening as a very pivotal moment in our history. And to see that we're finally getting to a point where, as a nation, we are allowing ourselves to stand firm in the challenge of the fire of purification, right? That we have to go through suffering in order to get to the other side. And I feel like we've hit a tipping point. I'm hoping so. And I know that I've talked to a few people this week who are feeling very down, that the weight of how all the protests and the extreme racism that has always been, right? But that is kind of coming to a head in our country and the response of our leaders has made people feel just the opposite, lack of hope. But I'm choosing a different path, and I'm hoping to kind of inspire you to do the same. In our yoga practice, in the Yoga Sutra, there is a sutra in the first book, the first pada, 1.33 is the sutra, and it talks about 4 ways that we respond to the people in our lives. So first, to be very happy for those who are happy. So the people who are doing really well, who whose lives are filled with love and joy and prosperity, that we can hold deep, deep joy for those who are not suffering, the people who are really feeling good today in this moment, to be pleased and kind of bask in the joy of that with them. And the next is to feel deep, open compassion for those who are suffering. And one of the ways I like to think of this sutra is that when we learn to be steadfast in our own emotional states and kind of look inward and steady ourselves through our yoga practice, we have this ability to shift our responses very quickly. So we can go from seeing somebody who's really joyful and sharing in that joy, and then in a split second, open our heart to someone who's in deep suffering, and that one does not negate the other, that we can have room for both in our hearts at the same time. And then the third state of interaction in the sutra with others is to basically not be jealous or greedy, that when we see someone who has more freedoms, more opportunity, more fill in the blank than us, that we not allow ourselves to get hung up on, I want that and I'm miserable because I don't have that. And then the fourth of them is to, and this is the key one, in my opinion, is to be undisturbed by the wrongdoing of others. Now, this is not complacency or a sense of, yeah, it's okay that you're being bad. It's okay that you had your knee on this person's neck for 8 minutes. That's not what I'm talking about. It's a state of when you feel deep outrage at bad behavior, whether it's a police officer or a president or your next door neighbor or your child or yourself or anyone else that you come to be in the presence of, that we don't let our outrage cloud our ability to hold hope and our highest regard for humanity at the forefront of ourselves. I know we have come into this deep split in our country where it's very easy, the minute you sense someone believes differently than you, that you just put them in a box and you want to put the box on fire. And this is a deep problem. This is a deep, deep problem that we can't find middle ground. Solutions only come from that middle ground. And So this piece of the sutra, I think, is a really important part to work with, that we are able to hold the wrongdoings of others and not lose sight of our hopefulness, and that we can hold people accountable, including ourselves, for our wrongdoings without shame or even blame. You know, can we go so deep to the root of it that we can understand why someone chooses to act the way they choose, instead of just the top of the plant and seeing just the fruition of action? Can we go much deeper? And in order to get to that depth of understanding for another human being and how they've come to act poorly in the world, ourselves included, we have to find a deeper humanity. And this is where yoga practice really comes into play. Can we stand firm in the fire of that without letting our rage and anger overwhelm us to the point where we can't see the real source of problems? It's easy to slap things on the surface and say, that's the problem, you're the problem. But we're all complacent in the problem. Every one of us is a part of the problem. So when we sink a little deeper and get to that root, there's a lot more capacity for change. So part of the work here is to not only cultivate your hopefulness and your capacity for flexing your muscles of hope, which really need to be flexed right now. You need to strive for hope, but we also need to strive for understanding. We need to strive for losing our reactionary selves and getting deeper to see our common humanity and what underlies the problems. So these sutras are so wise. You know, I mean, if you really deeply look at them and work with them in your own heart, they're challenging and difficult. It is not easy to come to that place of being undisturbed by the wrongdoings of others and still act accordingly. So let's go ahead and close your eyes and know that your practice, your asana practice, your physical practice is flexing those muscles. Not only are we flexing the muscles of our body, but we're discharging through our body a lot of the stress that makes us hold on to judgment and blame, and I'm right, you're wrong, and despondency and feeling paralyzed, all these things that don't really serve us very well in the task at hand for change. Our asana practice helps us move through this. So let's just take a moment to close your eyes and think of the most hopeful thing that you can think of, whether it's the laughter of young children at play, like giggling and screeching, whether it's, you know, the shiny bright bloom of a flower at the sunrise, and whatever, your loved one's eyes, whatever it is, take that into your heart and feed yourself the gift of hope. Think about not only this one thing, but the leaders throughout time who have inspired you to feel hopeful, to not fall down and curl into a little ball, which is so easy to do, right? We all want to do that, and it's okay to do that, and then let yourself come back up. So reach into the memory bank of leaders that have come before, that have inspired you, and ask for their grace. Their energy is all around you, whether they are alive or dead, whether they're halfway across the world or no longer on the planet. It doesn't matter. Their energy is right there with you. Just take a moment to feed yourself that as well. Let their hands be on your shoulders. Know that you do not stand alone. That there are so many people around the world who want the exact same thing that you do. Equality, justice, peace, prosperity, health, love, connection, community, a healthy world, a healthy environment, all these things that we have hope for. Let's feel not only the hands on our shoulders and the symbols of hope in our lives, but let's feel the connection with the thousands, millions of people around the world who right this very moment are hoping for the same thing. So dip into those deep reservoirs to feed yourself energy, resiliency, and hope. Come into the body, drop in, or come into your breath. Relax your face, let the ease in your body be a conduit where you can really feel the streaming of energy coming into you. Remove any blocks that you have as best as you can. This is hard, so don't worry. But the ways in which you examine your own anger rising that might be inhibitive of you and prevent you from really seeing a deeper root. Let's see if we can use our anger wisely for inspiration and energy to act. And then let that energy transmute in you to find deeper sources of connection, of problem solving, of action. So drop deep into your own body, drop deeper than the top chest, drop deeper than the diaphragm, drop all the way to the legs, the pelvic floor. Feel your roots below you. Place your hands together at your heart and just take these words by Noam Chomsky into your heart. If you assume that there is no hope, you guarantee that there will be no hope. If you assume that there's an instinct for freedom and an opportunity to change things, there's a chance you, just you, might make a small difference in making a better world. Let's release the hands and come onto our back. Okay. Let's come to lie down. Stretch through your body. Okay. All right, so come onto the floor. Stretch your arms over your head. And let's just wiggle around a little bit. So stretch the right side. Feel that invigoration of arms overhead and stretching. Maybe your breath wants to stretch and squeeze a little bit. Just going from side to side, letting the right side open, the left side open. And let's take joy in the body. Okay, let's take joy in the body. So much of the stress of the challenges of the day live in our mind, and of course that filters into the body, and let's try to transmute that. So bring joy into the body, and then bring your knees into your chest and rock around a little bit, and let's circle. Okay, so circling your knees one direction, feel your sacrum on the floor, see what it feels like to have a sense of just massage around the back edge of your sacrum, and then go the other way. All right, and then bring the knees in, and let's pull the knees apart and swing them back in. So go on your own little road to get there. So you might have more of a circly swirl in your hip joint. You might go straight across in your hip joint, just warming up the hips themselves, the hip joint itself. Notice how different your two sides might feel. And then right knee into the chest and stretch your left leg long on the floor. Extend through your spine. Find the sweet spot of where your knee likes to go in toward your chest the best. Roll out your feet. Wake up all the nerves in the bottom of your feet. Let things look around. Even your feet can have some joy. Imagine what your feet feel right now with no socks or shoes. They get to open wide and look around. So feel the joy of your feet. And then let's switch sides. Right leg comes long on the floor, left knee into the chest. Find the right spot for your knee to hug in. Stretch that right leg, stretch the spine, and same. Wiggle out your toes, open up your feet. Try to make it feel good. So even if you have tenderness and pain in your feet, there's got to be something that feels nice about stretching them open. So focus on the positive. And then allow that knee to come down onto the floor. Take your legs wide apart, take your arms wide apart, and just spread yourself out. Open yourself up. Feel that all the contraction of fear and worry and strain and stress and, the uncertainty, what does our future hold? See if you can let a little bit of that drain away out of your limbs into the earth and instead become the sun. So feel the bright light in your center body and expand it out to your limbs, stretching to the arms, stretching to the legs, stretching through the crown and the tail. Then exhale and bring your knees into your chest. Pick up your head and curl into a ball. And let's move in some starfishes. So inhale, become the sun, open yourself wide, radiate your energy outward. Exhale, draw that energy back in, condensing it to the center. One more time. Open things up. And exhale. Close things up. And then let's go ahead and roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. So as we find our way onto all fours, make sure that your hands are comfortable. If your wrists are bothering you, you can always take fists on the floor. And let's start moving through some cat-cow. So arching the back, rounding the spine. Now try to get some of that light to transmute through the spine. So go slow, go fast, go gentle, go big. Trust your breath and trust your body. Try to open just the right amount that your body's ready for instead of plowing forth. Are you breathing? And then feel free to move things around. You can sway your hips from side to side. And once again, try to notice the joy in movement. So even if you have pain, see what you can focus on that feels really good. It can be subtle little movements. It can be big sweeping movements. It can be stillness where you're just noticing a part of your body that's at ease and feels comfortable. Focus on what feels good. All right, and then let's stretch back to child's pose. Just find your spine. Feel free to rock a little bit. Once your head starts to melt toward the floor or on the floor, see what you can do to release tension through your eyes and your jaw. Let things go. So all the little accumulations of stress that you've been holding, what can the exhale surrender? What can the release of your skin surrender? And then let's curl our toes under and lift up to dog pose. Feel the extension through your spine. Take your time here. You can pedal out your feet. You can sway and move and bounce and hop and anything that feels good. Once again, focus on the positive. If you have been despondent, which I'm sure you have, because there's a whole lot to be despondent about, choose something that's positive in your body right now to give your focus and attention to. How is your breath feeling? Is that a happy feeling? Just notice what it feels like to be able to take a deep, full breath. And then walk your feet forward. Come into Uttanasana. Fold a bit. Let your knees bend as much as you want. Wag your tail. Let there be any kind of movement that's going to release some tension patterns in your body. Slough things off. Whatever you've been gripping and holding, see what you can do to slough it off. Inhale for a halfway lift. Hold the tops of the thighs. Extend the spine. Exhale and melt back down. Let's do that one more time. Big, long spine. Thigh bones move back. Grow. Exhale and softly come inside yourself. Push off your feet. Rise up, reach the arms to the sky. If you're dizzy, don't lift your arms up, tuck your chin instead. Exhale and bring your hands down to your heart. Pause here for a moment. Find the ground. Feel your feet come into that sense of yielding where the earth is receiving you. Give yourself over. Find your place. You have a place right here on the earth. So allow yourself to find your place. Be received. And then from there, feel yourself grow out of the earth. So find that balance of yielding into the earth and rebounding up through your body. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths away. Inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Take a breath. Let's cactus. Open your arms if it feels good. Otherwise, put your arms wherever it does feel good. Open that chest. Exhale, open the back of the chest. And then reach the arms up again. Deep breath. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Let's step our left foot back, right foot forward, just going through the paces of warming up the body. And it's not just about warming up the body. Of course, we're warming up all the soft tissue in our body with our beginning movements, but also befriend the body. So let this be a joyful thing that you're coming home inside of yourself, that this is a nice place to be. Okay, square the hips, relax your head down, bow in. Find your breath. One piece of the sutra that I didn't talk about was the flip side of not being jealous for those who have things that you want, but to notice, this is an important part, can't believe I forgot to mention it, but to notice the virtuous nature of others and to try to emulate the virtuous natures of others. So to not grasp over what you can't have, but to also let yourself bask in the light of what other people are offering you. So come into a lunge, bring your hands onto your knee, extend the spine. And this is what I meant by having those leaders that have come before you to put their hands on your shoulders. We get to receive energy from others. So allow yourself to receive whatever it is that you feel you need. Find someone who has it and just absorb some of their energy. There's always more to share. Anybody who has something virtuous to offer is sharing it freely. So give yourself over, think of a person in your life that has that, and just allow yourself to breathe in some of that virtuous energy, giving you hope, giving you strength. Exhale, bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, cross your hand over to the chest, find the length of the hip flexors, find a twist. And start to strengthen. Give yourself over to your strength. Hug to the midline. Deep breath in. Deep breath away. And then release the hands down to the floor. Walk your back foot forward. Come into a halfway lift. Grow your spine. Exhale and melt back down. Push off your feet. Rise up. Take a deep breath. Exhale, fold forward. Again, inhale for a halfway lift. Notice what feels good in your body. Stream some energy through you. Step your right foot back. Left foot is coming forward. Come into a lunge. Let's start moving through our legs here. Feeling the hamstrings open. Let that stretch go through your spine. Tuck your chin. Keep moving and breathing. Adjust your legs any way you need for balance, for support. Your legs do not have to go all the way straight, and they absolutely can go all the way straight. What feels good? Are you enjoying something in this? Is your breath feeling good? Is your movement feeling good? Is your body feeling good? And even if your answer is no to one of those questions, what little piece of it is a yes? So some part of your body feels good right now, I bet. So find it, expand it, hang out there. When you're ready, lift up. Arms can go wherever you want. They do not have to go in the air. Trust yourself. Be kind to the places that need support. Breathe deeply. Let anything that you're ready to get rid of out on your exhale. Breathe it out. Maybe strongly breathe it out. And then let's come to a twist. First, just put your hands on your thighs. Extend, lengthen, and then when you're ready, let's bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, cross that hand over, hug to the midline with your legs, feel the bottom of your feet spread out again, let them look around to the floor, feel the impact on the ground, yield here. All right, and then come back around, bring your hands down onto the floor, walk your back foot forward, bend in half, fold, relax the head, wag around if you feel like moving your shoulders or your hips or your head. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Touch your toes. You can always have a block for chair pose if you want it. Release the hands down. We're going to move while we're here. Inhale, come on up. Chair pose. Exhale. Float down. We're going to come up onto our tippy toes. So inhale, chair pose, all the way up to stand. Don't worry if your balance is off. Be playful. Exhale, heels down. Move energy through your body. Inhale. Up under your tippy toes. Don't worry if your balance is not there for you. Be okay with it. Heels down, arms back. One last time. Inhale, come on up. Find your breath. Hang out here. Put your arms wherever you want them. Deep breaths. Look at something that doesn't move. And then put your heels down and come into chair pose. Put your arms where you want them. Anything that feels nice in your body. Breathe deeply. Feel your thighs start to, gain some strength, some stamina. Let's stay in the fire of purification. Our ability to be steadfast, courageous, and strong. We can even build that skill in our heart by letting our quads burn. Okay, so everything's practice. Everything's practice. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Let's twist here, arms up. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale, arms back. Stay with your steadfast thigh burn. Exhale. One more time, come up under your tippy toes. Up you go. Exhale, fold forward. Separate your feet. Fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt down. Come back to dog pose. Lengthen through your spine. Feel an inner spiral of your thighs. Find the sense of length and breath. Root into the index fingers. Root into the thumb mounds. Find that grounding. Can you give yourself over to your place on the earth? Drop into the earth. Be received. Allow something to give you energy back. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air. Let's stack our right hip over our left. Big breath into the belly. And then square the hips again. Extend the leg, breathe. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, bring it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Push all your air out. Everything you don't need, get rid of it. One last time. All your air out. Make some noise. Inhale, bring that leg back. Bring your foot all the way forward. Come into a lunge. Rise up. Crescent lunge again. Grab onto the left wrist with the right hand. Open up. Extend a little bit. Feel the side body grow. Deep inhale and exhale. And then relax. Let's go ahead and straighten our legs. Turn to the long edge of your mat. Okay. Let's find our way into some standing poses. We're going to move and breathe. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. You can choose to bring your hands in instead of up. If your shoulders like that better, breathe and move. Let movement help you push things through you. If you're stuck, if you're feeling like, you're just having a hard time getting past the heaviness of the times, movement is so helpful. Breath and movement. So let's stay now. Find your breath. Relax the shoulders. Press the walls away. Flip your hands open Get some energy through your arms all the way to your fingertips, whatever you want to do there. Find the long spine, reach your crown up, engage your core on your exhales. Let's find a reverse pose here. Reach into the side body, open that up. Find your breath, straighten your leg for a moment, keep reaching, then bend your knee and come into Parsvakonasana. Arm overhead. Breathe deeply here. What does it feel like to hold steady, to use your hips wisely, soften the back knee so you're not hyperextending? Can you yield? Are you able to give to the earth? Feel your place, receive something back. Deep, full inhales, blow out your exhales. Inhale, rise up, come back to a reverse triangle pose. Exhale one more time, Parsvakonasana. Just gonna move a couple times through that. Inhale, straighten your leg and arm, exhale. Parsvakonasana. Turn to the long edge of your mat, thigh bones back, spine growing, take dog pose arms. So reach the hands out in front of you, wherever they go, be soft with your knees. So soft micro bend in the knees, thigh bones back. Take advantage of all the room to breathe. Let the exhales go all the way out. Full breath in, full breath away. Let's walk to the long edge of your, or short edge of your mat. Come back to dog pose. Deepen your breath here. Inhale, full exhale. Come forward into a plank. Steady yourself. So even though this is a very still pose, what's here for you? Can you move the shoulders? Are you finding the midline of the body? Are you feeling structural support all through your core? Are you still able to breathe deeply? Steadfast, stability, strength, resiliency, power. Release, let the breath out. All right, let's put our knees onto the floor. Slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Take a deep breath in. Cobra pose. Exhale. And melt back down. Let's do that twice more. Someone's tagging me with a message, so let me just look at this, make sure everything's okay. Keep moving your body into the breath. Full breaths in and away. Let's go ahead and come onto our belly. Pause here for a moment. Take your hands underneath your forehead. And let's quiet the body just for a moment so you can give even more attention to the breath. Whenever we feel stress, often our breath just shrinks down to a little tiny ball in our body. So let's expand. Let's just give ourselves the opportunity to expand our energy. So feel the breath travel in the back of your body. What happens? What do you feel when you inhale? What do you feel when you exhale? Can you give yourself a sense of brightness, lightness? All right, and then as you're ready, let's go ahead and come back up onto all fours. Find whatever little transition you want here, maybe some circles, maybe some cat-cows, maybe hip sways side to side. Eventually finding your way back to dog pose. Lengthen through your spine again. Feel the depth of your breath. Relax your head. Deep inhales, full, complete, long exhales. Let anything that you're no longer serving you go. Feed yourself the happy childhood laughter outside. Feed yourself the beauty of the earth. Feed yourself the people that inspire you. Feed yourself things that are going to give you hope and energy. Try to keep them in your mind's eye. Counterbalance all the crisis and suffering that's in your mind's eye. Counterbalance it with goodness. This is just one simple way to keep yourself inspired and feeling hopeful, instead of getting lost into the well.
can be hard to be in a well where you don't see the way out. Inhale, lift your left leg up in the air. Find your breath. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, bring that leg back. Exhale, knee to nose. Finding and choosing hope is different than not seeing pain. It's choosing to be positive despite the pain, sitting in the pain and suffering that you see and choosing hope regardless. This is different than just the Pollyanna view. Bring your foot forward, come on up, crescent lunge again. Hope is an active energy, it's a choice. And so to feed yourself all the little teeny tricks you have to give yourself more of that. Reach yourself open, lengthen through your spine, find your breath, and we're gonna turn and open to the side of our mat. Find your breath, so you can find your movement. You can bring your arms just out and in instead of up. See what feels good for you. Are you protecting your joints? Are they feeling safe and stable? Let's do a couple more. All right, one more time. Arms up or in, whatever feels good. Find your way into Virabhadrasana 2. Make sure that you're full here. So flex your wrists a little bit. Make sure that the energy is coming, streaming from your heart all the way to your fingertips. Enliven your nerves. Drop the shoulders. Feel the same with your feet. Ground, feel the yielding. Give yourself over and rebound out. Can you make yourself the sun like we did in the beginning, where you're radiating from your center body through your crown and tail, through all of your limbs? Is there a possibility for you to give away energy and also feel stable and receiving at the same time? Find your resiliency. Stay despite maybe you don't want to stay. Spread out the toes. Feel that tapas, the burning enthusiasm to stay in the purification of the moment. Slide that arm down. Lift the arm up. Open the ribs. And then come to a straight leg. Reach and open. Parsvakonasana. Elbow down. Stretch your arm overhead. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Feel the fullness of the side of your body spread into your feet. Yield. So it's not just a push. It's a yield and then a push. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths out. We're going to move back and forth here. Inhale, reverse your triangle pose. Open that arm up. Exhale, come back into the heat of your thigh. Reach the arm overhead. Couple more times. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale. And then we'll stay here just for a moment or two, finding Parsvakonasana again. Feel your breath. Feel the work of your hips move into your feet. And then go ahead and come on up and turn your feet to the long edge. Again, thigh bones back. This time, maybe your arms want to be down instead of out in front of you. Choose something that's giving you breath, a sense of space, the ability to radiate. Feel yourself radiate out from the center. Give your energy outward. Share yourself with the world. And then turn to the short edge of your mat and come back to dog pose. Spine grows. Feeling your breath, root into the index finger mounds. Spread out the bones of your feet. Inhale, come forward into a plank. Let's hold this steady again. Finding some deep inhales, some long, steady exhales. All right, let's put our feet down onto the ground. Lower yourself to the floor. Any back bend of your choice. So maybe you don't want to do cobra. Maybe you want to do Superman or locust pose or up dog or anything that you want. Find your body. Find the chest opener. Feel the muscles along the back of your body work. And then release. Turn your head, pick up your feet, and sway side to side. Deep breaths in, deep breaths away. Put your feet down, turn your head the other way. Notice the breath again. Okay, come up onto all fours. Find a little bit of a cat-cow, whatever's working for you. And then we're going to turn onto our, well, I'm turning because I have to show you the instruction. You're not going to turn, but you're going to take your right hand, your right knee, and your left foot, line them up, take a deep breath in, lift the heart, open the chest. Maybe your leg comes in the air, maybe your foot stays on the floor. So you decide which way you're going. Find the breath here. This leg can kind of, your shin can come more parallel or perpendicular, whichever's making you feel good in the body. Open the chest, spread out through your heart. And then exhale and release your hands and knees. Move your way into a cat-cow. And then find your way to the other side. Okay, so remember, your shin can be perpendicular to your mat or more parallel. You go where your body is most comfortable. Maybe you lift your leg in the air, maybe you don't, maybe your foot stays on the floor. Open the chest, find your breathing here. Fill yourself up, empty yourself all the way out. Shoulder blades move down the back. Try not to lock your elbows. And then release and come back onto all fours. Little bit of some swirls or a cat-cow or anything that's serving you. And then let's find our way back into child's pose. Just take a little pause, rest for a moment. Feel the breathing come in. Feel the breathing go out. And then let's go ahead and find our way back up to stand. You can go through dog pose if you want to. And we're going to come up to stand. Okay. Bring the arms to the sky. Open the chest. Just spread your arms out. Find your breath here. Let's take our legs wide too. Just create that big, huge stance in the body. See how big you can make yourself feel. Grow your energy. Spread from your center outward to your limbs. Spread into the earth. Spread into the air. Imagine you could hold the whole earth. All right, and then release the arms. Come with your legs a little bit closer. We're going to stand on our right foot. Bring our left knee up. Feel the growing of the spine. Find your breath. And then we're going to release that leg down a little bit. Bring your leg out to the side. One more time. Feel big. So now we're on a one-legged feel big. Expand from your center, your sun in the center of your body, outward to your limbs. Find a sense of focus without shrinking. See if you can stay big and focused simultaneously. Are you breathing? And then let's go ahead and release that foot down onto the ground. The other side, knee into the chest, grow long. Find your breath. And then release that foot. And we're going to swing it out to the side. Open your star. Feel a sense of spaciousness, grow, stability and spaciousness, all at the same time. Breathe. Make sure your knee you're standing on is not pushed back and locked out. Can you grow in your energy field? All right, and then go ahead and bring your feet down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold arms back. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, melt. We're going to come up onto our tippy toes again. Inhale, lift up. Take your arms, now spread yourself out. So even though there's wobbles, can you find stability? Can you find spaciousness? Deep breaths here. Can you feel that you're stable despite shifting sands underneath your feet? Where do you feel stable? Seek it in your body. Where's your stable force? Find it, even if you're losing your balance. Find the steadiness that's inside you. Heels down onto the ground. Fold in half. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Let's step our left foot back. Our right foot's forward. Come down onto your back knee. Rise up. Still feel, and your arms do not have to be up. I know some of you have shoulder issues. Your arms can be here, and you can be spreading your leg just as well as if your arms are overhead. Hug your front heel and back knee toward each other so you're not collapsing all the way. Big open heart. And we're going to release our left hand down onto the ground. We're going to reach back, and maybe you don't do this. Okay, you might want to stand up and do a thigh stretch. So from here, we're going to reach back and grab your foot. Okay, opening the chest. Find the breath. If this is not working for your body, you get to stand up. You can hold something if need be, and just stretch your quad. Open up your, we've done a lot of work with your quadricep muscles, so just feel them stretch open. Tailbone descends, pubic bone lifts. And then surrender that pose. If you're standing up, you just get to switch sides. And actually, no, come into the lunge. Let's all do the lunge first, and then we'll stand up. Sorry to make you go up and down. Let's go ahead and take the left foot forward. The right knee is coming down onto the ground. Find your breath. Maybe your arms want to stay on your knee. Maybe your arms want to come out or up. Find what's going to give you a sense of, I am stable. I am expansive. I have energy to share. I have brightness in me. I have the capacity to hold a lot of stuff and still be open. Deep breaths in. Deep breaths away. Let's go ahead and turn this into a thigh stretch. So now we either stand up and grab onto your right thigh or left thigh, which do the other side. Or you can reach back and grab your foot. If you're here, try not to fall and splay and sink. Hug in, extend the spine. The chest is still broad and open. The collarbones are stretching, smiling. Then in midline, if you're finding it in your legs, deep breaths. All right, and then let's go ahead and release and come back onto all fours. Find your breath. I'm going to give you a choice for a back bend here. Either bridge pose, if that feels more comfortable for you, or you can do a more active bow pose. So if you're going to choose bow pose, we're going to be on our bellies. Reach back and grab your feet. And inhale to lift up, keeping your knees in line with your hips. If you're going to do bridge pose, you can do it actively or passively. You can have a block under your pelvis or in between your thighs or no block. Whatever you're doing, whichever choice you're making, open the chest. Feel the work in the body. Breathe deeply. Give the diaphragm a job to do. Welcome deep breaths. Combat the upper chest breathing where we're very stuck and still. And then you get to come out of the pose. If you're on your belly, windshield wiper, pick up your feet, windshield wiper your feet left to right. If you're on your back, windshield wiper your knees left and right. Okay, so now we're going to start cooling down a little bit. I want you to not lose the breath and the expansion, that sense of stability and openness. So we're going to come into a hip opener. So you get to choose either reverse pigeon pose, where you grab onto, you're on your back and you grab onto your knee with your other foot on your knee, or you're coming into pigeon pose on the floor. Okay. So whichever you're doing, whichever choice you're making, extend the spine, feel the growing. And when you come to rest, whether just melting your back on the floor or coming lower in pigeon pose, try not to let this pose collapse in on itself. See if you can let the hips be bravely open without collapsing the spine around that openness. Keep the spine growing and expansive, whether you're on your back or on your front. Deep breaths in. Long exhales. Let's go ahead and come back around to a neutral place and then find the second side. So whichever pose you're choosing, and maybe you're choosing a different pose on this side than you did on the first side. If you need support, take support. Allow yourself to find a happy place where your body, there's openness and maybe, a little, you're having to kind of like breathe through the openness, but not to a place where you're retracting and pulling away from the openness. So find just the right sweet spot for you where your body opens and your spine can receive that openness and stay free. It's very easy when we overdo stretches, when we kind of go past our boundary, that we shrink something up. We either shrink the breath up, or we shrink the spine up, or we shrink the shoulders up. Something shrinks. Maybe it's even your jaw or your eyes or the palms of your hands. So find and scan your body and notice if you are doing that. See what you can do to keep yourself open and spacious. Be brave to open up parts of the body that are tight. Be supported in opening the body. So we do not have to be brave all by ourselves. We're brave together. So this can just even be symbolized by taking support underneath your hip. Why do you have to do things alone? You do not have to do things without support. Let your breath support you. As you're ready, let's find our way out of this posture and come onto your back. Pause for a moment, either with your knees bent or your legs straight. Find your starfish again. Become the star. Become the sun. Now you get to rest your body. You don't have to be so active in your hope. We've done a lot of work to kind of cultivate activism in your body. So now let the body rest in the energy that you've cultivated. Just bathe in it. Let's go ahead and bring the knees to the chest. Rock a little bit. Let's do a simple twist, however you like to twist. You can do the classic simple twist. Put your feet down, scoot your hips right, pick up knees and drop them left. Maybe you want something different than that. So you choose whatever's in your wheelhouse, whatever you want. Deep breaths in and away. And then pick up your knees. And let's go the other way. So hips go left, knees come up and go right. Take a deep breath. Breathe your exhale up. All right, let's go ahead and pick our knees up. Lie on your back. Bring your feet in. Happy baby pose. Maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe you just want to bring your knees to your chest. Just let any tension go in your back body that might still be hanging out there. And then come into Shavasana. Now, you be you. So do you want support? Do you want your legs up on a couch? Do you want your arms and legs spread out? Just do what feels most comfortable and at ease in the body. Deep breaths in. Settle yourself into your exhales. Deep breath away. And once again, bask in the energy your practice has cultivated. Try to surrender into spaciousness. Receive the support. The earth is there for you every moment of the day. Receive that right now. Let yourself be cradled by the earth, held by the earth. Give your breath over. Melt through your face and your eyes.
Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Let's find some movement in the body. Onto our side as you're ready. Take your time. Come up to sit as you're ready. Bring your palms together. Let's just take a moment. Notice if your practice has fed you anything, if you feel more energized, if there's a sense of expansion, connection. Let's be the change we wish to see in the world. Let's be the change inside your mind, your heart, your body, your actions, your words, your connections. Let's be the change. Offer your energy outward, share. Be the light. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.